Yep, it's pretty good. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that it's a great movie, but it's good. Now, I'm not a massive anime guy. I've watched the original Pokemon as well as the Yu-Gi-Oh shows and movies, but people tell me that's not real anime. So I guess by that standard, Demon Slayer is my first anime, and I thoroughly enjoy the series. Season 1 was solid, the Mugen Train movie was great, and Season 2 was amazing. I felt like Season 3 was a significant step down from Season 2, and I felt like the Hashira training arc was a waste of time, but the series overall was solid. But this was the first time I got to see a Demon Slayer movie. And as a movie, the film has some serious issues. Now, I haven't read the manga, so please don't spoil it for me, and if I get something wrong, I'm very sorry, but this movie has a very serious pacing issue. The events that this movie covers is in this order. Giyu and Tanjiro meet up, Shinobu fighting Doma and getting consumed, Zenitsu fighting Upper Six, then Tanjiro and Giyu fighting Akaza, the fight with Akaza being the bulk of the movie, and I don't have an issue with that. But the movie cuts to the other Hashira so much. It's tripping over itself trying to set up where characters are going and establishing their motives. And I'm normally sympathetic to this issue. When adapting a massive story, it's hard to fit every character in perfectly. But this movie takes a little too much focus away from our main characters and causes some of the big moments to feel hollow. And this movie treats the show as both mandatory viewing, but also tries to catch potential new viewers up. It will go over character motivations that we've already been told, but then it'll reference events from previous seasons like we were supposed to know it. Had the Hashira training arc actually been a season that sole purpose was to do all the character development for the Hashira we don't know enough about, then the movie would have been able to put all its effort into focusing on 4 characters instead of the 8+ characters that all got a moment. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Shinobu, Akaza, and Giyu are the sole focus of this film. Akaza, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu were done the best. Giyu doesn't have a ton to do, but he's the silent guy, so the movie doesn't demand a ton from him. But Shinobu by far got the short end of the stick. It sucked seeing her die, and they cram all her development into 20 minutes, which takes away from the death. She wasn't a main character of the movie, nor did she get much in the Hashira training arc. Had they shown more of her relationship with her sister, her dynamic with Giyu, and explained her backstory before the movie, then they wouldn't have needed to spew a bunch of dialogue to catch us up. And her death was a powerful scene, and it was done so well. But it could have been done a lot better had the season that was advertised as the sneak peek for the movie done the legwork it needed to. Zenitsu's fight with Upper Six was good, but brief. I appreciate they finally put him in a situation where he's conscious and has actual motivation beyond survival or Nezuko. He is far less annoying than he was in the earlier parts of the show, which was nice to see. But like I said, the bulk of the movie is Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza. And this was such a cool fight. Seeing Akaza and Giyu crash through buildings at breakneck speeds while Tanjiro is struggling to keep up really gets the adrenaline pumping. I do love that this movie, at multiple moments, goes out of its way to show just how much stronger and more advanced Tanjiro's skills are compared to the Mugen Train. Akaza is just in disbelief when Tanjiro cuts his hand off for the first time. I also really appreciated that they show how exhausting the fight is by the end of it. Tanjiro at one point towards the end of the fight struggles to even lift his sword. Then after he faints and gets back up, he forgets that his grip was loose and drops his sword mid-swing and has to follow through with a punch. After Tanjiro finally beheads Akaza, we get his backstory. And it's very sad and actually makes Akaza my favorite villain of the series so far. He lost his dad, his father-in-law, and wife. And each time, it just built up this massive survivor's guilt. And after he breaks and murders almost 70 trained fighters with his bare hands, then Muzan forces him to become a demon and erases his memory. He essentially died, and the only thing that went with him was that final feeling that he wasn't strong enough to protect anyone, which drove him to commit atrocities to help ail him of this need for more. This movie also looks incredible. Throughout each season of the show, there is one moment where you can see the full might of the animation team at work. This movie has that level of animation for like half the movie. While the action and animation was phenomenal, the pacing is lacking, and it's largely because this is an entire season crammed into a movie. This would have worked much better in episodic form, and while I understand the budget would have been lower, it would have made more sense to cut between characters as often as this movie did if it was in a season. Now, all this to say, the quality of this movie will highly depend on the rest of the trilogy. If this movie did a bunch of setup so 2 and 3 can go hog wild, then I will accept that this movie had a couple rough patches and look back on it more fondly. But if all 3 movies are like this, then I just don't think there was any justification for turning this arc into only 3 movies. But only time will tell. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, seriously, I love you. Please consider hitting the like button and subscribe for more content. Comment down below what you thought about the movie. Please don't spoil the rest of the arc for me. If you'd like to hear my thoughts on the rest of the Demon Slayer series, I'd love to make videos about it if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, take care.